Let's get it.
Hello, everybody.
We did it. We're here. What's up, guys? Good morning, LFQ. Good morning, Brightside. How you boys doing? Yay, yo, first indeed, bro.
You can try again now. You earned
yeah.
it. I forgot to hit the button.
Yeah, go again. We had a thing going on with the overlay. God damn it, YouTube volume. There we
go. I don't want to. That's fine. Maybe we can bait Brightside into doing it.
Brightside, what was the first time you typed first? I don't know. That's probably not going to get him. He just likes to type first and then go AFK. But yeah, I hope you boys had a good weekend. Yeah, it's pretty good for myself. I'm trying to think of what I did this weekend. I don't know. I didn't watch Twilight this weekend.
Shame.
I don't know if I should say that out loud. Never mind. You almost baited me into saying that, dude. Man's busy, but with 2 S's. Yeah, you almost got me with that, dude. I almost said that exact sentence out loud, and that'd be a terrible clip. Let's see. Okay, so I'll dive into this one. I want to read a little bit about this article real quick. Let's see.
Which one are you doing?
Super Mario Galaxy. So Miyamoto says he was surprised Mario Galaxy movie reviews were even more harsh than the first one. So he did an interview with...
Send me the link real quick. I'll put it up.
Yeah. Famitsu. Oh my God. There we go.
Okay.
I guess he did a group interview with the Japanese media to mark the local release of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. During the interview, he was asked for his views on the critical reception of the film in the West, where critics have been mostly negative. He replied that while he understood some of the negative points aimed at the movie, he thought the reception would be better for the sequel. But he found out that the criticism was like even more harsh than before. And he's confused. He's like, I don't understand why they're more mad about this one, because I thought, I took their criticism to heart and did like a better job on this next movie, and they don't like it. But so here's the thing. This is probably the thing that Miyamoto doesn't understand about film criticism. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a critic score of 43%, but the audience score is 89%. That's pretty fucking normal for movies that are popular with people. Critics just fucking hate. And critics will give something like a 99 that fans, like people who watch movies, do not want to go see. They don't like it. Yeah, dude, the Kirkland shirt. There you go. You don't care about my vintage PAX shirt, bro? I'm kidding. I don't care about this vintage PAX shirt either. Yeah, the audience is way more important. I want to see the Mario Galaxy movie. I really like the first one, and I know that critics hated the first one.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes to see what the score is. Super Mario Brothers, Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, 59%.
Anybody else think they're cowards for not making a Mario Sunshine movie first?
I mean, Galaxy makes more sense because they're trying to do like a whole thing for broader audience. But yeah, Rotten Tomatoes for the first movie, 60%, 59%. Viewer score, 95%. So we're seeing the same thing, but they dropped it by 20% for Galaxy, which is crazy. Adder, what's up, brother? I kind of want to go get a $1.50 dog, but no chopped onions is a problem. Did they not have chopped onions anymore at Costco?
They got rid of chopped onions. Yep.
Oh shit. That's what that whole conversation was that I saw online. People were like, we can still get the chopped onions on our hot dog here in Canada.
Yep.
LFQ, if you like Nintendo stuff, the first movie's good. The second one's in theaters right now. I definitely don't want to pay like a theater price for these movies. I would rather watch them at home, but I like them. What's up, Sushi? There you go, LFQ. You got first. A couple 2D movies first, so we could get the true progression of movie form.
Yeah, there you go.
No chopped onions, but I could consider the chicken bake with the dog in it. That chicken got that dog in it, dude.
Yeah, what do you mean a chicken bake with the dog in it? Can you put the dog in the chicken bake now?
What the fuck is a chicken bake?
It's like this weird like stromboli thing that's filled with like chopped chicken and I want to say like Caesar dressing and cheese. It is pretty good, but like I don't know. It's never as good as it looks on the menu.
Yeah,
like,
that sounds like I would enjoy 2 bites of it and then be like, I don't want any more of this.
It's like, yeah, a very homogenous. So you're just like kind of eating this like burrito type thing the whole time. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good.
Did you see what Adder said? You take a bite off the end of the chicken bake,
bro.
then press a hot dog into it. You're a wild boy, Adder.
That's crazy.
Yo, get you a chicken bake with the hot dog, man.
I mean, if I don't get the hot dog, I get the slice of pizza because that's like $2, and that is some pretty solid pizza usually.
Yeah, treat yourself, Adder. How's the Mortal Shell stuff coming? Y'all got a release date announced yet? We got to be close. Costco pizza solid 8 out of 10, always there for me. Isn't Costco pizza like very similar to Little Caesars though?
No, I don't think
really?
So. It's kind of its own thing. Like, I wouldn't call it like good pizza from like a pizza standpoint, but like it is good. It tastes good. If you get their pizza and take it home and bake it, not good. But when they make it there and you just like get a slice or something, pretty solid, you know.
Okay.
And it's like affordable. Like you're getting probably like
cheap,
twice as big of a pizza as you would at like Pizza Hut for the same price, and it's like pretty good quality. But
I mean, I'm not ordering Pizza Hut if I'm
no, for
if I'm
sure.
being real.
Just I know you're a blackjack guy, but same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only because they do the New York style floppy slices. That's what I really like. So it's like not that, cracker thin crust that's like crispy. It's like, floppy New York style, which is better. Adder, I don't necessarily want to read that out loud just in case like someone finds it and clips it and says like, confirmed information about whatever. You probably told us more than you needed to or that you could. So but yeah, no, that's good to know. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot. I appreciate your candor. But yeah, just making cool shit and optimizing with some loose stuff going on. Yeah, great. Big triangles only. Costco got the flop fold. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Adder,
while Adder's paying attention, I want to ask him about the HDR shit we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You said yesterday something about how you basically just ignore it and you've never gotten any complaints. And I've been thinking about that. And the only question that I have for you about that is like, we're running into this issue right now where like my version of the game, because of this, doesn't really match like the vision, I guess. And like, while I could see in a lot of cases that not being a huge issue for a lot of games, if it's like a little too bright or something, kind of a big issue for us. So do you think I should just keep thinking about it that way and just kind of say fuck it and we throw a brightness slider in and kind of try to guide people to dial it in the way that we think it should and then, move on with our lives? Or like, do I need to be thinking about it more than that?
Not to speak for Adder, but I think the right solution. Yeah, we have a brightness slider.
We have a brightness slider. I'm more just like it definitely,
default value.
I was reading Unreal's docs about HDR and some of the things that you can do with it, and there's like they have recommendations in their docs about like turning certain brightness values up to like 1.5 normal when you're in HDR and like stuff like that. So like if I'm gonna do it, I obviously need to go through and like optimize a few things, but I don't know. I just thought maybe you would elaborate on what you were saying a little more, because I'm really worried in this case about us going whatever and not really worrying about it. And then like, I kind of imagine like your average, like not super technical person, if they have a laptop that has an HDR screen or their computer has an HDR monitor, like Windows just turns that shit on automatically and they probably don't even know. And I don't want them to not know that. I guess they're not having the intended experience or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but
I think we just index on not HDR. Like, what does that look like? And the reason I say that is because, like, I was telling you, my laptop did it for Hollow Knight, but it wouldn't do it for any other game, which is weird. But I could see like a difference. I was like, yo, why did Hollow Knight just get like super bright? And then I realized, I went and checked settings, and Hollow Knight's configured in a way that it will tie into the Windows auto HDR shit and just turn it on for you.
Yep. And so again, like we can ignore it, but I just like there's going to be some situations where like that's the case, and like I think people are going to be playing the game like potentially a lot brighter than they should, and they might not know, and that just worries me a little bit. I don't know. I read this big long thread about how you should be able to take like your game in SDR and like dial it into a point where I can't remember exactly how the explanation went, but like it was something about how like if you can get it looking consistent between an HDR monitor and an SDR monitor when it is SDR content, then that might be one way to handle it. But I need to revisit that. I knew Adder was going to be here today. I thought maybe I would just ask while we had the opportunity.
I think what Adder said is right. Build the game with no HDR, so build it for SDR, because we're not targeting consoles for Dread. Yep. So we can always do that later after the game is out. But yeah, make sure that it looks good in SDR, and then we can like think about, hey, what's
up? Like my entire concern here is less like I want to support HDR or something, and more just like I want to avoid a situation where somebody who doesn't know any better is not having an optimal experience and they don't know it. And like, if there's something that we can do to prevent that from happening, then of course I want to do it. That's all.
I think the main problem that we've got is that your brightness looks fine, but everyone else's is too dark. So when we get everyone else's looking good, we're probably okay. I think that's what we have to index on.
But also, like, from that same perspective, it's kind of like if I have to make changes and then push them to Perforce and wait for you guys to test them every time, like that's not super realistic. So I'm just kind of trying to think through, like, on my end, how can I figure out how to get this dialed in? And I guess I'm just going to turn HDR off on Windows and start there. But like, I just worry again about somebody who has it on and doesn't know. So
I think what Adder said is right. There's so many like little things you have to do for HDR, and if you do it early, we're too early for the HDR tuning pass right now. You're gonna have to redo it again anyway. So I think we just index off of SDR right now for Dread. It does look great in the HDR screenshots that you've sent.
Just so you guys can kind of understand what we're talking about here, we've been trying to figure out this inconsistency that we've been seeing between the way the game looks for me and the way that it looks for Vince. Vince always says it looks too dark, and I keep making it brighter, and he still says it looks too dark, and I'm like, at this point, it looks like daylight on my screen. I don't understand. And then we realized just comparing two screenshots from exactly the same version of the game, exactly the same spot, that his game looks totally different than mine, and we've slowly narrowed it down to probably being like a Windows HDR thing. But we got like other team members to send in screenshots too. And you can see me kind of like flip between them here to kind of show that like those two look pretty much exactly the same. That's Vince and Eric, our other guy. And then when mine comes in, it's much brighter and there's not like such harsh shadows and stuff. So we've just been trying to figure out how to make this consistent and ensure that, people are seeing it the way that we want it to and stuff, because I do a lot of the lighting adjustments and stuff myself, and I'm kind of indexing on the way that it looks for me, and that it doesn't look good for other people. So,
Sun Wukong, we hit like a technical snag, I guess. So Tony's machine has an HDR monitor, and his screenshots look different than ours do. And like he's running HDR and we aren't. So that's the issue we're running into. So it's less of like a high quality graphics decision and more like visual fidelity across multiple systems, which is always a problem.
Our game is dark and moody and is lit a very specific way and needs to look a certain way, and it's just something that we're kind of indexing on a lot, so we want to get it right. Anything fine-tuning related is pushed to the end of the project, like having a one-off command line for certain area of the game for 0.2 milliseconds of perf or something. That sounds like a real-life thing that you did. Nothing worse than looking for a bunch of band-aids and one-off changes when content breaks, when stuff changes late in the project. I'm still convinced it's post-process, but this is an issue where hands-on A/B testing is critical. I'll try to get your screenshots to look like your comparison screenshots locally, and then backtrack to the fix. Any game that's dark and moody is toughest to get dialed. It can speak from experience. Yeah, you've been telling me that from day one. That's for sure. Somebody bopped that fucking spammer.
I'm trying to. Summary execution. Ban. Report. Let's see. Spam. I mean, hey, we got the spam back, so I guess it's happening.
Adder had a churro for breakfast. It's very Texas of you.
Hell yeah.
Where was the churro from? I think that's important. Yeah, I guess you got to prepare sushi for what living in Texas is like. You're gonna have churros for breakfast from now on, man.
Yeah, Sushi, how's your Texas plan going? Hopefully you got some updates. I mean, I think you told us on like Thursday last week, so you probably didn't get anything in the last couple of business days. LFQ, you calling us cheap? Yeah, exactly. Bully that man. Get him, LFQ.
Homemade churros from a local hole-in-the-wall Jalisco Mexican spot left over from dinner last night. Amazing.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that sounds crazy, dude. 2 more hours to go. Nice. Good luck, Sushi. I hope you get it, man. Okay, so yeah, Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Brothers movie, critically not well received, but audiences love it. I mean, this might be the thing where like Miyamoto being Japanese, he's like, it's not acceptable to have critics hate this movie, even though audiences like it. And I want to fix that, which he may not understand that you can't fix that in the West, like with these film review sites and shit like that, and the way, you know, film criticism works in the US. It's people know people, and that's why they give something a high rating. It's the same shit in games reviews. If they don't like you, they're going to give you a bad review. If you didn't pay them enough, they're going to give you a bad review. If your IP is strong enough and the thing you made is good enough, it doesn't matter, and audiences are still going to go see your shit, or like purchase your thing that you made, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think that's maybe the issue he's running into. I don't know that it's anything bigger than that, but you know, apparently it has hurt Miyamoto's perception of what the film is doing. The negative reception is unlikely to bother Universal and Illumination too, considering the film currently has a global box office of 752 million. I would say that's a commercial success. Nearly $1 billion. Jeez, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, so it's done really well. He needs to not take that shit to heart. Chump change. Yeah, exactly. Okay, he's saying the Japanese version is a little bit unique. Normally we create an English version and then localize it for each country, but for the first film we developed the English and Japanese scripts simultaneously. For this film, we didn't simply localize the completed English version. Instead, we rewrote it entirely in Japanese to create a special Japanese version. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, he really cares about what critics think. So if this doesn't become a hit in Japan, I feel a sense of pressure as the person in charge of the Japanese version to not let down the people, you know, at Illumination or whatever. Judging by the reactions of the audience members who've seen it, I feel that Mario fans are really embracing it. I also believe that we've created a film that people can enjoy even if they haven't seen the previous one, so I'm hopeful about that as well. All right, yeah. So it looks like it's hurt his pride a little bit to get a negative critical reception to Mario Galaxy. Let's see. Oh, okay. I was excited about this. Echo the Dolphin Complete was announced, containing the first 2 games and a new contemporary game. Collections development is being led by Echo creator Ed Annunziata. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Yeah, so Echo the Dolphin remaster and a new Echo the Dolphin game coming soon. Announced. I am excited about this because I was a Sega kid, and so I played a lot of Echo the Dolphin. Like, this is one of the games that I beat as a kid, and I didn't beat a lot of games as a kid because I was a kid. So I would like get frustrated or bored and then play a new game. You know, nowadays I like really try to complete games, and I get a lot farther than I did when I was much younger. That being said, Echo the Dolphin was one of those games that I beat on my own, which is crazy because like it got kind of hard, especially for like a kid. All your base belong to us. Is that wasn't Echo the Dolphin? That was
No.
What the fuck was it? I wanted to say Zone of the Enders, but I don't know if that's it.
No. Zero Wing.
Zero Wing. That's it. Yeah. All your dolphins belong to us, dude. Let's see. Okay, so this is good. Echo the Dolphin Complete will include new features like speed running support, achievements, and leaderboards. It will also contain meta quests, which span across the original games and the new game, offering challenges that thread through the entire Echo universe. This seems like it's VR
headsets.
VR headsets.
Meta
VR
quests.
is a dolphin. Yeah. No, it's he's saying that like because it's 3 games, you'll be able to complete some like an achievement for playing through all 3 games and doing things, which I think is cool. It's built by the original members of the Echo dev team, reunited after more than 30 years, and includes original creator along with members of the original composition, art, and programming teams. That's really fucking cool. Yeah, I think that's great. It's not an outside studio's interpretation. It's the OG team remaking their game that they worked on. Echo the Dolphin was really unique back in the day. Making a jab at the... Oh, I see what you're saying, Adder. All your base belong to us. Yeah, I got you. Let's see. Announced May 2025 that a new game and 2 remasters are in development. A clock counting down to April 2026. Clock is currently set to end on Thursday, April 23rd. Okay, so it seems like midnight tonight is when they're gonna make an update. So that's why we've got this, news article about Echo the Dolphin, because there's going to be an announcement today. Following the release of Echo the Dolphin and Tides of Time, an easier spinoff called Echo Junior, that's a great name, was released on Mega Drive and Genesis. The series was dormant for a while. Let's see. Echo the Dolphin Defender of the Future on Dreamcast and later PS2 came out. I didn't play those. I don't know if they were as good. Yeah, he had no involvement in the new game, in that game, which was a 3D adventure rather than... Yeah, I remember those not being good. In 2013, he didn't have the rights to the IP at the time, and he tried to crowdfund a spiritual successor called The Big Blue, but this was ultimately unsuccessful. Then he settled the lawsuit with Sega in 2016, which opened the door for a new Echo title. Okay, so that's what happened. He had to fight for the rights to make the game again and continue with the IP because Sega had shelved it. Interesting. Okay, so then he got it and he came back, and 10 years later, he's going to release a fucking thing. So that's cool. I'm happy to hear that. Tony, did you post something about the... Yes, you did. Okay, so let's go to the Vampire Survivors article.
Okay.
Vampire Survivors developers working on over 15 games, including IP collaborations. Ponkel is opening studios in Italy and Japan. I mean, this is kind of crazy. I feel like this is outgrowing itself. 15 games is fucking wild. And opening new studios when they've only made Vampire Survivors, right? And like a
well, now they have Vampire Crawlers or something. Yeah.
It is a lot of things to keep track of. To me, LFQ, this is too much growth too fast.
Yeah.
This is gonna explode. Yeah, Adder, it's definitely outpacing their growth. Yes.
The thing that I was reminded of when I saw this headline is that in the No Clip documentary about Vampire Survivors, they explained that the main dude made Vampire Survivors in JavaScript and like off the shelf like easy code game engine, but it like couldn't scale to what he actually wanted it to do. So the way that they would do development is he would build his version in that, and then he would hand it off to other developers who would then rebuild it in like Lua, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they still do that as far as I'm aware. Is he just like whenever he has a new idea for the game, he like codes it into like his shitty version, and then he gives it to them, and then they just like take it and like translate it into the actual real game. And so now this guy wants to run 15 studios.
I think, well, he wants to run 3 studios and 15 projects.
Yeah, whatever.
And I think the problem is that Luca might have had not a strong enough will with managing this idea and the thing that he made. This is just an assumption here, because this is like other people. According to Chief Strategy Officer Matteo Sapio, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. All right, so I think Matteo is like, Luca, we got to do this. And he's like, I just want to make Vampire Survivors. I don't care. Because that's like kind of like he's somewhat famous for doing that. Like he wouldn't do interviews. When he did one finally, I think it was for No Clip, he did it with no camera on because he wants to remain anonymous.
Yep.
And
then he didn't even do his
like
voice. They made him a puppet and they had a voice actor be him. Yeah.
Yes.
He was
so
not
it wasn't
there.
even his own voice.
Yep.
Adder, the problem is that this dude, I think, just wants to be left alone, but there's people that are really excited about what he's done. And it started with the thing that Tony talked about with he coded it in this wacky thing. And then they were like, dude, you can't keep updating it. You know, like your updates are going to be too slow. So we're going to volunteer to help you. And those are the guys that like recode the game in Lua or whatever Tony was talking about. And I think that might have just continued to snowball. And he got like leadership people in there that are now kind of like taking the ball and running with it. And he may not have a lot of choice over what they're doing. I don't know what kind of deals he signed, but I think this is out of control for him right now. And it's getting crazy.
We just see so many people like losing their jobs because the studios that are kind of, I don't know, don't like totally make sense when you try to analyze them from like a business perspective or something. This just kind of feels like that a little bit to me. It's like 3 studios is going to employ a lot of people and put a lot of jobs at risk, and probably all the money this guy's made from Vampire Survivors and stuff. Like, I don't know, 1 additional studio would be a thing. Like, I don't know, why can't you just make like 3 games at 1 studio? That's the other thing I don't get. Like, if you look at Miyamoto talks about how he's got like all this crazy shit going on, but it's all his studio.
My assumption is this, Tony. He's probably the kind of guy who's like, I got $2 million and that's enough for me for the rest of my life. The other, $80 million that we've made off of Vampire Survivors, you guys can like invest and grow the business. I just want to be left in my corner to work on this game. That's my thought. He probably got his own slice, and then all this stuff that he's building is letting other people do things with. And I'm not saying that because like he's naive or anything like that. I think he doesn't want this. But other people have come in and they're pushing him to do things that maybe he doesn't want to do. And he talked about that in the No Clip documentary. Yeah, and I'm with you on that, Adder. It almost seems like he's being manipulated. Yeah, he made roughly $50 million on a $2 game. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, he just wanted to make it for fun. And he's like, I'm going to release it for $2. I mean, Tony bought it for me for like, what, 99 cents?
Yep, it was on sale for 99 cents.
Great game for $1. Absolutely.
I got like 100 hours out of it for $1. Like, crazy game.
I might be over like 250.
Yeah.
I'm going to see. What's my Vampire Survivors playtime? 266 hours for a $1 game.
About 100 on the dot.
Incredible value. And for what it's worth, I played that game. I haven't bought any of the expansions, and I just did all the achievements as they rolled out new achievements and stuff. So I got all the unlocks without paid expansions. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good value proposition. I like that he was able to make money. And obviously, according to what you were saying, Adder, he's made enough money to be like, this is too much. Like, dude still has a day job, by the way. Like, Ponkle is not his main thing. He wants to just do his day job. He talked about that in the interview. Let's see. Speaking of games business, Sapio said Ponkle was reinvesting Vampire Survivor success into 3 types of games: spin-offs like Crawlers, original IP titles, and new Survivors games based on known IPs like Warhammer 40K. This is way the fuck out of control. There's no way that, like, I don't know, this seems crazy to me. I think they're going to start hemorrhaging money if they're not already. To help achieve this, it's expanding with studios in Japan and Italy, which Ponkle says will help it collaborate with local companies. However, the company has paused its publishing business, Smart. Last year, they put out Kill the Brickman and Berserk or Die, which I've not heard of either of those. Yeah, it was Luca Galanta. He made the game for himself and his friends. In 2 or 3 months, it sold more than 1 million copies. What the fuck is this comment? Luca's yachts are video games. So instead of buying a yacht, he made the Emerald Beyond DLC with Square Enix, which we released for free. Things grew organically from there. I don't know, man. I think Luca needs to run away. I think other people got their hands on his money and his vision, and they are forcing him to do shit that is not good for him. But I also don't know. So, Luca, if you see this, like, I'm not trying to talk shit about you, buddy. You made something good. Don't let other people steal that from you. They made a new engine called the Vampire Survivor engine. That's what's going on. They're trying to monetize this engine. It's a kind of template with all the Vampire Survivor juice inside, and then we're giving it to people that we consider the IP guardians. This sounds so bad. Little teams of people, 5, 10, 15, those are very different. A 5-person team versus a 15-person team is very fucking different. The structure will be, we'll have a designer, a bunch of producers, and this little team that's agile and flexible. Oh my God, that's so bad. One designer and a bunch of producers is crazy. What's up, mocap? I'm going to port my game over to the Vampire engine. Hell yeah. One designer and a bunch of producers is such an insane statement. Where's the indie spirit? It's mainly freedom and taking risk with ideas. We don't want to be AAA or AA. We're efficient with costs. I don't believe that. If you have 15 projects and 2 new studios spinning up, that's not cost efficiency. This is such a weird statement. We're efficient with costs. We don't take useless risks. We invest in people. So with 15 projects, 1 can fail, 1 can go good, and you balance that. What do you do with the project that fails? Do you get rid of that team? It does. It sounds exactly like EA. I think someone's trying to build an empire out of Luca's work.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what like the financial mechanism would be behind something like this. If you have like company A that's like doing really well, and you have company B that's like effectively bankrupt, like if they're separate entities, you can't just like give company B money from company A. Like there would be tax things and like ownership questions and stuff. Like if it was just all one big studio, you could make exactly the same statements and say if project A is doing well and project B is not doing well, we can balance them out. It's just like internal money. It's whatever. It does not make sense to me.
Yes, Adder, exactly. Probably Monsters vibes, but the difference is that Harold ran probably Monsters. Luca does not appear to be running this shit. And I mean, I'm only saying that based off like what Luca has said publicly, which is very, very little. All he wants to do is make a game. He doesn't want to get into this business management shit. He doesn't want to do all that. It's almost like success is like beating him over the head and he doesn't know what to do with it. He's not like doing what he wants to do or like is trying to do what he wants to do and like giving away the rest of the money to other people who are going to turn it into large sums of money, cut and run, and fuck up his IP and like discredit the brand that he's built. I don't know. This is not a good sign in my opinion. They're just soft licensing the IP and hiding behind his name. Exactly, Adder. That's a lot of red flags to me. So this worries me. Tony, did you want to talk about the Switch tariffs?
Yeah. I thought that one was kind of funny. Apparently, some people are suing Nintendo, saying that if Nintendo is going to get a refund on the tariffs because the United States government is doing tariff refunds right now, that should be passed on to people who paid more for their products since their prices were increased since the tariffs happened.
Meta Quest is going up in price, mocap? Really?
I think it went up $50 or $100. Yeah.
Ooh, that's not as good of a value anymore at all.
Yeah.
It's like a 30% price increase. Okay, so yeah, that this is kind of a crazy idea. Like, how do you sue the company that made a thing because of governments? Like, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Kind of like SKG, right? Like, although SKG is in hearings, I've seen the guy, like videos of the guy like testifying in front of Parliament and shit about SKG. I kind of want to know what the status is of SKG. Let's see. They're backing a proposed California bill aimed at ensuring the publishers provide an offline mode. Yeah, this is going to be a problem for the games industry. This is not great. Was the California one already killed? I don't recall. Like, did they kill that bill?
No idea.
Let's see. I'm going to see. Forcing. Uh, 6 days ago. Okay, looks like this is like, I mean, if it's 6 days ago, there's no way it's already even been seen by like the California House of Representatives. State legislature is going to take some time on it. Yeah, I guess they're backing a bill proposed in California to force developers to make an offline mode, like ship games with an offline mode. Oh, Brightside's back. What's up, dude? He said first and then left and then came back 42 minutes later. Hell yeah. I'm talking about SKG right now. So, yeah, I'm looking for the bill name, Adder. Hang on one second here. I don't like these links I just clicked on, but we'll see. Oh, no. Assembly Bill 1921, AB 1921 is the bill. Requiring companies that sell live service games to notify customers of a service termination date at least 2 months in advance. Okay, that's not so bad. But that means that you have 2 months of operational risk before you have to, like, just think about this. You're going to have to shut down early. Curious if Microsoft is going to get involved. They have a ton of gas. Yeah, I would assume that all of these big companies are lobbying the fuck out of California. Yeah, I also hope we're doing well out there, Brightside. The EU hearing happened yesterday. Yeah, it was either yesterday or like Friday last week because I saw some shit on social media. Yeah, it's all pro SKG arguments right now. So this is the thing you guys may not understand about like legal stuff is that there's a lot of like presenting your case and saying, here's what we think. And then there's going to be counterpoints and shit like that. So this long debate is going to occur, especially in Parliament. For the US court system, it's going to be very different. And I really think there's going to be like, there's just so much money in lobbying to kill this type of shit. If passed, the bill would prevent game publishers from unilaterally. That's the craziest statement. This would prevent game publishers from unilaterally shutting down servers for games that require an online connection. What do you mean unilaterally? They own it. It's theirs. Like, the irony here, and I said it before, is that SKG is going to kill games. There's going to be games as a service that will never see the light of day and get canceled now because if this shit passes, because it's a financial consideration. They're not going to be able, they're already super risky. This is crazy. Like, I don't understand how gamers don't understand this. Like, I get you want to keep playing your favorite game. I do get that. This is crazy. Adder says, I don't think a federal law will pass in the U.S. with the current admin. Yeah. So here's the thing. It's currently only at the state level. And I think California is the only one hearing it. Big push to virtual only games, no physical disc. In the fine print, you are renting the game. You do not own the game like you used to. Yeah. So they could pass the law, and it's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Yeah,
mean
because like it's already in terms of service that it doesn't work that way. So yeah.
Yeah. So like, not to get political, but I see an analog here. In Denver, they passed a law that law enforcement is no longer allowed to wear masks when in the line of duty, but there are exceptions. And like 2 days ago, Denver police were doing a narcotics operation, and they were wearing masks. And so citizens were like, yo, what the fuck? We passed this ordinance to say like law enforcement can't wear masks. And the mayor's office was like, oh, these are Denver police. These are not, like this fits in the exception. And it's like, without saying it outright, it was like, we're only barring federal law enforcement agencies from wearing masks in the city, which is not enforceable. It's crazy. It's very, very interesting. So anyway, I think the same thing, or a similar thing is what we're going to see here. The bill could pass and then nobody enforces it, and it doesn't matter. And there will always be a loophole to be like, here's why we're allowed to just shut this off. So it's going to cause problems with games that aren't out yet, and it will kill projects before they even get off the ground. That's what I think is going to happen with this, if this passes. But again, this is only at the state level. So how does you won't be able to buy a game as a service in California, but you could buy it in the rest of the country? That's fucking weird. Yeah, I agree, Adder. It's going to be riddled with loopholes at best, but likely just won't pass. Yeah, I don't think it's going to go anywhere in the US. I mean, we have pretty solidly established laws around software licensing. We have Bill Gates to thank for that. He created that whole system with the EULA and a licensing agreement. That's what an EULA is. You are technically never an owner of any software you purchase. You are a licensee. And that's if you guys are unfamiliar, all of that stems from MS-DOS and Windows, was saying instead of a PC manufacturer buying this and saying this is our operating system, they rent that or lease that for the rights to use it from Microsoft. And that's always the way it has worked since the 80s. So yeah, when you get that huge thing you have to consent to at the beginning of playing a game or installing Adobe or something, all of that is because of Microsoft. And I think that just became kind of the standard convention worldwide for stuff, but I don't actually know if you get an EULA in Europe, or if it's it has to be a completely different one. LFQ, do you get a thing that's a European EULA if you install some new software? The EU EULA? Yeah, exactly. I do not know if it's different. Yeah, I imagine, because you would only have ever seen the EU version, and we will have only ever seen the United States version of an EULA. Interesting. Yeah. So anyway, SKG is continuing. It looks like they have public support. I just don't know if this is going to be government supported. Okay, Switch 2 Pro controller, Joy-Con 2, charging grip, wheel set, camera dock set, carrying case, and AC adapter all had price increases from Nintendo. Then in August 2025, Nintendo increased the price of the original Switch. Switch Lite was $30 more expensive. Switch is $40 more expensive. OLED is $50. And they widely attributed this to tariffs that were occurring. And then SCOTUS said that the tariffs were not legal, so now there's going to be government-issued refunds for that, and those are going to go to the businesses. So individual consumers are trying to pass a class action suit to get Nintendo to pay them out. This is the weirdest thing to me. Okay, so the way those lawsuits work is if this works and Nintendo has to pay people back, you're not going to get refunded the price of it. You might get $1. What is this? I don't understand why people are doing this. You're not going to get refunded the price hike. It will not fucking happen. even if they like rule in court that Nintendo has to give money back, like a bunch of that is going to go to lawyers and court fees and shit.
It would open a big can of worms for every other company in the entire country as well. So I don't think they will do it for that reason. But
let's see. I've gone back to buying CDs and Blu-rays just so I can actually fucking own something. Says Sushi. Like the shit with Westworld. First season is my favorite show. Can't even fucking stream it anymore. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, the first season of Westworld was so good.
Ooh, LFQ says Gemini was telling him that there are huge differences, or I guess maybe not huge. I read that as big. There are differences between EU EULAs and North America or the United States. Interesting. Blu-ray collections. You guys are going to physical media again. Okay.
Why not like a Plex server?
You could do that.
Digital not to say the content on it is acquired legally or not, but like at a point you could like rip those Blu-rays onto a Plex server and not have to deal with physical media.
Westworld was dropped from streaming entirely. Interesting. I mean, like, yeah, I could see that. If you want to watch that shit again, like, yeah, it's nice to have physical media. I don't feel strongly about it personally.
What do you guys think about Westworld after season 1? Like I heard it was so bad I literally have never even tried, but I really did like the first season.
It was okay. I didn't watch after season 2.
Okay. Is it the same characters?
Yeah, without spoilers, sorta.
Okay.
Mocap says the best Westworld was the VR game.
Really? Okay.
Season 3 was trash. Yeah, I agree with that. Or season 2 was okay.
It was the first season was so interesting. Like I really wanted to know what was going on.
I want to read this EULA stuff LFQ is posting. Enforceability of terms in USA. Generally, EULAs are highly enforceable, including shrink wrap and click wrap agreements, mandatory arbitration clauses that restrict. Yeah, that's what we're very used to. In the EU, they're only enforceable to the extent that they do not breach reasonable consumer expectations. Yeah, that's very different. Consumer rights and warranty, EULAs often disclaim all warranties as is and limit liability to the maximum extent permitted. Consumer protection laws cannot be waived. Users often have statutory rights to functional digital products that support which EULA cannot override. Data privacy, yes. So in the US, you consent to data harvesting in like pretty much every EULA. That's a thing that people are trying to fight against now because we realize like, oh shit, we all consented to them just like taking our data. We don't have to click OK. And then there was a lawsuit that was like, this is data harvesting. Do you consent or not? And now there's a button that you have to press if an app is harvesting your data to acknowledge that you're aware of it. And in some cases that you have to consent to it if you want to use the app. In other cases, you can be like, no, don't do this. And they go, okay, cool. And they don't harvest your data, supposedly. And I guess all of that is wildly different in EU. Exhaustion of rights, which means in many cases, a user has the right to resell their legally purchased software regardless of what the EULA states. Yeah, you can't do that in the US. You can't be like, I bought this and I signed the EULA, so now I'm going to resell this software to someone else and they get to consent to the EULA. It doesn't work that way. They will like lock the software if it connects to the internet.
You'll actually see it with a lot of like tech products, especially where when you log in, you'll be presented with a new user agreement. And like a lot of the time, like if you don't agree to it, like they'll log you out. Like you can never get back in, see your data, use your account or whatever until you agree to that new thing. And it could say like, you have to sell them your firstborn child and like, you're not gonna be able to log into your account until you hit I agree. And that's an established pattern in software for better or worse, which
for what it's worth, the way I make those decisions is if I read that shit and it says some dumb stuff like that, I go, cool, I'm not using your shit and I'll go find something else.
I'll just see people like I the only reason I'm thinking about this is because I saw somebody tweeting about it like within the last day or two, but it was like their banking app had like a new terms of service and they actually like went through and started reading it and they were tweeting at the bank going, I do not agree to your terms of service, but I literally cannot log into my fucking banking app now because it is forcing me to agree to it, and I don't want to. What can I do here? And I don't know what the resolution was, but I was just like, damn, that's crazy. Never really thought about that.
Dude probably had to close the bank account and go open a bank.
I guaranteed he was closing his bank account, but it was just like, I don't even know how you like go through that process without being held hostage and agreeing to their terms at some point. Probably
I would have the day that shit happened, I would have gone into the bank, pulled all my money out, and moved it to another bank.
I'm sure
that's exactly what I would have done.
Yeah, guaranteed that's what this guy was doing.
I mean, but for what it's worth, like, I use a small credit union, and I've banked with them forever, and it's great. I like it. I have had accounts with like national banks, and they fucking suck. I've never had good experiences, so I just stick with
like local Colorado bank. I don't want to dox myself too hard for a long time.
That's what I was thinking.
They just got acquired by a very large national bank, and
dude, get the fuck out.
Your online banking is going to switch over to this national company's online banking system here in like 2 weeks. And I'm just, no.
If you want to come over to mine, I can help you get in there, because it might be members only. I don't think you can like join otherwise.
I think my wife is actually at yours. So
okay, cool. Yeah. Dude, they're fucking fantastic. They're really, really good. I love them.
Yeah, no, it really freaks me out because I've stuck with my bank for a long time strictly because they were like pretty big in our state, but like still local, and I always felt okay about it. And no more. Sucks.
Yeah, in sushi, this is the thing. Like, the anti-consumer stuff isn't to stop us from being consumers. It's to squeeze more money out of us. That's what I don't like about it. It's to like just take a little bit more, just a little bit more. And when you do it at scale, you make a lot in the back end. Yep. I mean, the monopolization thing you're talking about, sushi, is exactly my issue with the car that I purchased. I will never buy an Audi again in the state of Colorado because the dealerships are all owned by a national corporation. And the corporation is like from California and owns like the western half of the US for like car dealerships. That's fucking crazy. I will never do business with them again. In case you guys are wondering, it's called the Holman Automotive Group. So if you're purchasing a vehicle and you find out your dealership is a member of Holman Automotive, don't fucking do it. Do not do it. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Adder says a little digging. Westworld was dropped from HBO because the royalty contract was heavy and HBO's bankrupt. HBO's bankrupt? No, dude. Creatively and financially? Yeah, Tony. I think HBO has some good creative content. I think they do some cool stuff.
No, I mean, they've had some absolute bangers over the years, but it's just like you can really tell that the big business has like completely embedded itself in over there. Like, they changed their name to Max for a while, and then they changed it back because everybody hated it, and it's just like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, I will say this. I think last week I was talking about how I wasn't really fucking with Euphoria. It's like sticking in my mind. I want to go back and like give it another shot. I finished the first episode.
I hated it the first time Amy was watching it, and I just kind of like saw it in the background, and then she like rewatched it last year, and I watched through the whole thing, and like that was a fucked up show, but like it definitely kept my attention for sure, and like I kind of want to see it through to the end now because I've seen the rest of it.
I do think like Zendaya's just so good. That's what I like about her. She's such a fucking good actress. Like, I watched Moonfall the other day, which is like an advertisement for like a bunch of Elon Musk stuff. And it was produced by like a Chinese film agency. And it has all of these big actors in it, like pretty decent names, like Halle Berry's in it. And again, in a role where I was like, I never realized how bad of an actress Halle Berry is. She really is so bad. She has no range, very, very flat. And I was like, man, is it because she has a really pretty face and she's like nice to work with? Is that why she keeps getting work? That's the thing I don't understand. Like, people talk shit about Keanu Reeves being really flat as an actor, but he does it well.
Like an amazing person.
Yeah, but he's also like, he's typecast for a reason. You know, Keanu is Keanu in like every film, and we're okay with it. Like, viewers are okay with it. I don't understand why Halle Berry doesn't catch any heat. Like there was a whole discourse about people were like where people were like talking about Keanu Reeves being Neo in John Wick, and he's like the same fucking guy. But I've never heard anyone say that shit about Halle Berry. And that's the weirdest thing to me. She fell upwards on her face. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking at her. And for what it's worth, she's probably really nice to work with. She might be like super chill and like easygoing. And people are like, yeah, she's fucking awesome. We should keep hiring her. She fits the role. Dude, why are the balls jiggling?
Dude, I don't know. They're going
this is crazy.
This is wild. Just gonna let it go.
Dude, this is great. We got popcorn. No Catwoman disrespect on my timeline. Dude, Halle Berry was a fantastic Catwoman. Do not get me wrong. I loved her as Catwoman.
Except for the basketball.
Yeah. Why are the balls jingling? Halle Berry mentioned. That's exactly why. I mean, she was great in Swordfish with John Travolta. That's my favorite role of hers. So many famous actors are famous for just being them and don't get called out. I mean, I think this is kind of the same thing that I was telling you guys about how music before streaming services, the reason why we have these like songs and these like ideas of the music of the summer of a certain year and these like cultural inflection points of music is because of the music industry and how it was run. Before streaming services, we were fed shit off of MTV and the radio. That's it. So we didn't see like this really interesting artist that came out of left field as a streaming artist and is like shaking things up and making a new style that's really resonating with people. We get that now. And, you know, the music industry is like shook because of it. So I think the same thing happens with film and you know, to some degree video games, but that obviously doesn't work because gamers are a more discerning audience than I think other audiences are for entertainment. Her and J-Lo are pretty bad actresses. I mean, dude, I think J-Lo has more range. Like, this is a crazy fucking statement, but I think J-Lo legitimately has more range than Halle Berry. Like, do yourself a favor and watch like 3 Halle Berry movies in a row, completely different genres, and you'll be like, what the fuck? She's literally the same person in every role. All of her vocal intonation is identical. It's really flat. When she's trying to be like emotional, she just increases the volume of her voice, but all the inflection's the same. It's the craziest shit. And I'm only saying this because I didn't realize until like this year. And I watched a couple movies of Halle Berry and I'm like, oh, she's in this. Cool. I like Halle Berry. I don't know why I like Halle Berry other than being a very, very pretty lady. Like I don't understand. Whereas like, I'm trying to think of who's like a phenomenal actress that I like really like. Someone throw some names out there and I'll probably agree with you. Like, who's your favorite actress? You know, I guess I could say Zendaya. Zendaya's got wild range. She's really fucking good at what she does. Like, she plays different characters and does them so well. But you know, we can talk about older actresses too. I mean, we could go like Meryl Streep or some shit, but she does a lot of drama that I just don't care about. If a movie or show is available on Blu-ray, it's likely available for purchase at the same price digitally through Prime Video. Quick search, $60 for all 4 seasons. I've started to build a catalog on Prime just because I don't think it's going anywhere. And so there's some movies that I like want to watch and I'm like, oh shit, this is on Prime for $3. I'll buy it over there. And then I've got like a little collection. It's not huge. You're probably better off doing something like buying the Criterion collection if you're a real, you know, cinema nerd and you like films. Because like everything in Criterion is good. Dude, renting the season is crazy. Never do that. Rental prices are essentially the same as purchase prices. It's not worth it unless you're like watching a movie that you're unsure of and it's $3. Yeah, Emma Stone. There you go. Thank you, Adder. Emma Stone is great. She's really good. I still need to see Begonia. I've heard Begonia is like an insane role. Like she leveled up in that. And I really want to check that out. But I'm worried if it's like too fucked up. You know, it kind of seems like it might be. Have any of you guys seen Begonia? I know that it was Academy Award nominated. I don't know if it won. Let me check. Let me see if Begonia got any Oscars. $12 wins. All right. Yeah, it did really well. But to be fair, I don't know that we can necessarily trust the Oscars. I don't think you can. I think the Oscars is kind of a sham. Kate Blanchett, yes. Kate Blanchett is sometimes really good, but she is typecast a lot. I will agree. And I don't know that that's her fault. Like, she might be able to play really good roles that are outside of her range, but then, she gets hired to do a role and people are like, no, just do the thing you did in this other movie. And she's like, probably like, fuck, dude, I don't want to do that. Anya Taylor-Joy, thank you. She's fantastic, dude. Kathy Bates, yes, good one, Tony. Kathy Bates,
Kathy Bates, dude, and she's so good.
I was struggling because I was like, I'm only going to name dudes, and I don't want to do that because I think like actresses have huge fucking range. Who's Olivia Colman? I don't know her. I don't think I know who she is. Night Manager, Fleabag. Have I seen Fleabag? It sounds really familiar. The Crown, Broadchurch. She was great in Broadchurch, dude. I don't even know anything about Broadchurch. Is that a show that
like British stuff? Pretty sure.
Yeah. Today I learned Adder is into BritBox. I mean, that's cool. I like British television. It's great. It's actually really, really good. I think that's their best cultural export as a nation that they have right now is TV. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Adder. I'll watch anything if it's good.
I mean, Taskmaster has become like one of my favorite shows of all time. Like, I put it on as like my comfort show these days, and it's a big UK thing.
Tony, hot take: Bridgerton is not British television.
Is it not?
I don't think so. I think Bridgerton is like.
I would be surprised if it's not British. It's like purely British, like theme, cast, everything. Like, it'd be almost like offensive to British people if they didn't make that.
Nope, it's an American TV series.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I fucking knew it. I knew it, dude.
I want to ask a British person what they think of that.
Yeah, where's Push Button at? Push Button, what's your take on fucking Bridgerton, bro? He's probably like, what the fuck is Bridgerton? I'd rather jump out the window than watch Bridgerton. Yes. Okay, so I know that Bridgerton is written for a very specific audience. My wife loves it, and I'm not going to hate on her for liking it. I know why she likes it. It's totally okay, but that shit is not for me. It is not for me, man.
I remember the first time Amy was watching it. I remember messaging you and being like, "My wife is watching this show, and I cannot stand it."
Yeah, I was probably like, "Oh god, I feel so bad." Dude. I mean, it's like what's like some bullshit dudes like that has no substance?
Jackass.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably not fair to Bridgerton, but I would say like Bridgerton is like Jackass for American women.
Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, Reacher. Yeah, you could say Reacher, bro. No, honestly, because like I love Reacher. I think it's a great show, but it is fucking silly. Landman, that's great. Taylor Sheridan shit is Bridgerton for dudes, 100%. I will agree with that. And I love Taylor Sheridan's stuff. I really do. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. Boomer, bro, what do you mean?
Yeah, no, it's not gender specific because there's a little bit in Taylor Sheridan for everybody. You got like the male fantasy of like having a ranch and defending your property with a gun and stuff, and then you have the female fantasy of having like this strong cowboy husband defending your land with a gun and like.
But to be fair, that's also like a male fantasy, is to have a strong female that wants a cowboy.
You see, it works perfectly. That's why the show is so popular. Like everybody loves it.
It's definitely for dudes. And I'm not trying to like pick a fight. I love Taylor Sheridan. I think he makes very good stuff.
Yeah.
I really like his stuff. But I don't think I'd be, off the mark for saying that Taylor Sheridan's stuff is Bridgerton for dudes. I think that's totally fair. I don't think it's a boomer's wet dream, though, Brightside. I think it's just a very man, coded piece of entertainment. Everyone has the most witty comebacks for every line. I can't stand dialogue like that. I mean, hey, that's totally fine. I'm admitting that it's like, you know, not the best stuff, but it speaks to me as a dude. Like,
it's pulpy, but it's good. Yeah.
I will say this. I kind of seen a similar vein as Jack Carr's stuff. So Terminalist and Terminalist Dark Wolf, like that's for dudes that are into military stuff. If you're not into military stuff, you'd probably be like, oh my God, I fucking hate this. But I love it. I've watched Terminalist and Dark Wolf multiple times, and I love both. John Wick is for the bros. So Brightside, I will say John Wick 1 is perfect in terms of that genre of action film. But the subsequent 3 and Ballerina are bad. They're bad movies. I still watched them. You know, I had a good time, but I don't think that they are good movies.
I remember like almost wanting to turn off like the second or third one the first time I watched it, and then I rewatched them, and I remember just kind of feeling like, I guess this isn't that bad, but like absolutely does not hold up against the first one at all.
Yeah. The third one is really bad.
What's the one where they're shooting at each other in the train station, like behind their backs around all the people, and like
with Common?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's 2.
Okay, yeah, it's like
that one's okay.
So fucking ridiculous. The rest of the movie was pretty decent, but like
that one's okay.
Yeah. And then the third one has like that really cool like overhead shot with the dragon's breast shotgun and stuff. Like they all have redeeming qualities, but like the story
was it Halle Berry in the third one?
I think so. Yeah.
John Wick 3, Halle Berry. I'm pretty sure she was in the third one.
Common ruins everything for me. He plays the same dude. Have you watched Silo?
Wait, what?
Common in Silo is kind of like the guy from John Wick, but just in Silo for sure.
Okay. I was talking about Halle Berry being a bad actress. Common's a fucking bad actor. Like he is. Common is the same dude in everything. An interview he does, a movie role he's in, the music he's made. He's the same fucking guy in every single thing. I think, dude, I think he gets roles and he's successful because he's a handsome guy. I literally think that's it. I think he's like Halle Berry in that regard. It's a pretty face. People like to look at the pretty face and then just let everything else slide. And maybe that's why Keanu caught some heat, is because I would say Keanu is maybe not the most handsome guy, right? Like he's got his own Keanu way about him, but he's not like Chris fucking Hemsworth or Common, right? Like he's not like that kind of a dude, right? Maley Berry. There we go. That's how we get Brightside to engage in the conversation. We just start talking shit about Common. Yes, Keanu is definitely a great guy.
Have you seen Keanu now? Like I saw a video on YouTube the other day that I think is from the Keanu Reeves YouTube channel, but it's like him promoting motorcycles for Triumph or something.
Mm-hmm. I really like Keanu.
Yeah.
But I've always liked Keanu. I'm not the type of person who's like, man, Keanu's really hitting right for me at this age. I liked Keanu in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I thought he was great. I liked him in The Matrix. I liked him in fucking, what's that movie about surfers, in Point Break, right? Like, good shit.
Isn't he in Speed?
Yes, he was fucking great in Speed.
Yep.
Oh shit, dude! I just looked at the fucking like movie poster for Point Break. Keanu looks so edgy with his like slicked surfer hair. It's so fucking funny, dude. Oh man, Keanu is like a guy that shouldn't be famous. So Brightside, I think that's the core of what I'm trying to say, is that there are people who are good to work with. Like, okay, so here's an example. Ed Norton, fucking great actor. I love Ed Norton. Apparently he's a goddamn nightmare to work with. Always giving notes, always trying to rewrite lines.
He wasn't the Hulk after the first one, right?
Yep, that's why he was only the first Hulk, and they replaced him with Ruffalo, is because he was a nightmare to fucking work with.
Goddamn travesty, if you ask me.
But I love Ed Norton. I but I'm not working with him. I just like what he does. I like his art. I think he's fucking great.
His Hulk movie was weird, and if you think about it fitting into the MCU, it would have been strange, but like it was cool.
Yeah, he's too small to be Banner, honestly. Like he is. He's just too small.
I just can't see him being like quippy and quirky and stuff like they kind of get by Endgame with the Hulk and stuff, you know.
And that's
So,
Banner's character.
yeah.
He was kind of like that, but I think he was more stoic. So like I personally thought that Norton did a better Banner because he wasn't leaning into like the comic relief that the MCU had towards the modern version of the MCU.
Yeah.
It
was early enough in like their whole MCU thing where maybe they were like still thinking about making it like super gritty or something. I don't know. But...
Yeah, for sure. Keanu Reeves doing side quests right now, which is cool. Recently raced in some GT Cup races for the fuck of it. Yep. I think that's the thing about Keanu. He may not have a lot of range, but he's pleasant to work with, and he really fucking tries to get good at his role. Like when he did all the John Wick stuff, like I'm sure you guys have seen his tactical training. Like he really did train on all that stuff so he could do his own stunts. That's sick as fuck. That's very cool. What's up, Queen Anne? How you doing? Yeah. I like Kevin Spacey as an actor. I thought he was great. He's done a very good job in his artistic expression, but apparently a very, very terrible human being outside of work. Let's see. I wanted to say some of these. Queen Anne, we're talking about actors right now and like good actors and bad actors and stuff like that, and like why some bad actors are successful. Keanu's wildly good at multi-gun. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he did a bunch of Terran tactical like training courses. And
they made him a shooter for John Wick for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So Queen Anne, to catch you up, it started with me going on about Halle Berry again being a bad actress because I watched Moonfall a couple days ago, and yeah, and I was like, oh my god, it's the same fucking role again. She's the same flat actress. I don't get it. And then Brightside brought up Common, and I was like, Common is like Halle Berry. Like, is it just the pretty face that's like keeping these careers afloat? And like maybe being a person that's pleasant, easygoing, easy to work with. And then on the other side, we were talking about how like Keanu is still kind of the same in the same category as them, but doesn't have the pretty face, but is like a good actor because he tries really hard, you know? And then we got into Ed Norton being the Hulk and how I was saying Ed Norton is great and I love his work. But apparently he's a nightmare to work with. He's very difficult, always writes notes, tries to rewrite lines, like tries to do directing from the actor's position, which is not good. You can't do that. Dude, American Beauty is such a bad movie, Tony.
You don't like it?
So I liked it when I was a teenager, but American Beauty is not for a like mature adult.
To be fair, I haven't watched it like probably since I was in college.
But... Watch it again and you'll be like, oh shit, this is kind of cringe.
Okay.
Like when dude is filming the fucking bag flying through the street, like holy shit, dude. Like
whenever I see that, the only thing I think of is that Family Guy skit where they make fun of it. Like I just cannot take it seriously.
I could relate to it so much. And then, I loved that scene. And then when I saw the Family Guy bit where they were making fun of it, I was like, that's bullshit. And I got mad and I watched it again and I was like, oh my God, they're right.
Yep.
Like dead serious.
Yep.
I was like, they are right. This is very fair. Like they're not blown out of proportion. It is corny.
100%. Yep.
Mans is also trying to play the victim on his apology tour. Oh my God. No, dude. Kevin Spacey, you need to stop. Okay, I think the only way Kevin Spacey can actually reboot his career is if he just doesn't fucking talk about it. And if he's forced into an interview where he's talking about it, he goes, life is hard. We're all fallible human beings. Like, do the Arnold approach for when he got caught with his mistress, be like, yeah, I fucked up. I did shitty things and I'm trying to be a better person. And I hope you guys don't hold it against me. That's all you can do. But if he's like, oh, it wasn't my fault. Oh, this person did so and so. Like this, I was in a bad situation. It was not my. It's fucking stupid. Okay, hot take. I like James Franco, man, and I was sad to see him get canceled. I was very sad to see him get canceled because I like James Franco a lot, and it bummed me the fuck out, man. Yeah, I really wish he didn't do any. I wish these people just didn't do any of that shit, because we live in a time where it matters and people give a fuck and you can lose your whole career over it. And it's like, there should be separate consequences. Okay, take Wesley Snipes, for instance. Wesley Snipes, separate consequences where he went to fucking jail. You know, like,
What
that's
did Wesley Snipes do?
Tax fraud, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be.
No, he wasn't like a Me Too, cancel thing. He literally.
I don't remember hearing anything too bad about Wesley Snipes. But
Wesley Snipes is a criminal, unfortunately, and I love Wesley Snipes. He's fucking great. But I think that should have no bearing on his fucking career, right? Like, he should still be able to do his things. T.I., another great example. I love T.I. as an artist. T.I. could not stop doing illegal things, and he kept fucking doing it over and over again, and he went to fucking jail. Like, that's how it should go. Kevin Spacey should go to court, go to jail. If all that shit is real, and he goes to jail and has a bad time, and then is like, well, fuck, I guess I start over now. Brightside is defending Wesley Snipes right now. He had a bad tax guy. The weirdest thing is Franco's little brother working with Seth Rogen after he publicly dude, yes, that is so fucking weird. That is so weird. He's like, well, I got another Franco here, so I'll just use this one instead. Like, that's crazy shit. What's this? Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe's hard to work with.
I can't believe that about Rob Lowe. He seems like such a nice guy.
No, I can. Rob Lowe strikes me as very fake.
That's crazy.
Yes, exactly. Brightside. His whole personality is the nice guy, always smiling. He's like carefully crafted this like persona that is not who he really is.
That's wild.
That's what always like gave me a little bit of an itchy feeling about, like, I don't think this guy's really as cool as he portrays himself to be. Wait, what's James Franco's brother's name? Like Ben Franco or some shit?
No,
Danny Franco.
Somebody is gonna say it in chat before I can remember it. I don't know.
Dave.
There you go.
I was close. Dan Franco, apparently Dave Franco is kind of a slime ball. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like everybody's kind of a slime ball when you get disconnected from society and shit, and you like lose perspective of what it's like to be a normal human being, and then you just get kind of fucking crazy. Rob Lowe had that's nuts. He's been on politician mode ever since. Oh my God, Brightside. That's crazy. Is this just like on the internet? Like, you were able to find the scandal, so he somehow buried it? He didn't get away with it like Kevin Spacey? Fuck, dude. That's crazy. I mean, look at like R. Kelly. R. Kelly got in trouble. People still love his art. R. Kelly release date is the top Google search result. When does he get out? It turns out it's 2045. Sorry, y'all. R. Kelly's going to be in the closet until 2045. Dave Franco and Allison Brie were in early talks of bringing a writer on for a movie. Eventually canceled the movie with the writer and then secretly made the movie without the writer, stealing the writer's script. Dave brought the movie to Cannes. Writer was there. Dave surprise screened the movie, and that's how the writer found out. Ooh, that's not good. I mean, dude, if the writer didn't have a good legal agreement before they talked about shit, the writer's fucked. Like, he just really is. Like, that dude's gonna be salty. We do a watch along for Trapped in the Closet because I don't think y'all remember how fucking ridiculous that shit was. Oh, I remember Brightside. Writer had a legal agreement there in court.
Show skit about it. I don't remember the actual video much.
Dude, there was so much about R. Kelly. Like, there was a whole Boondocks episode about R. Kelly.
I kind of remember that. Yep.
That shit was great. Queen Anne,
I remember so much about Trapped in the Closet.
I don't want to make any comments, Queen Anne, because like we're internet friends. But I mean, if we were closer homies, I'd give you some shit about that. You have such a good sense of humor. I appreciate it. Around 3 to 4, there's a cheating dwarf arc. Bro, what? No, you're fucking kidding. 33 chapters of Trapped in the Closet? No fucking way. What's up, Turning Cog? Yeah, we're talking about R. Kelly. Welcome. What the fuck, friends? 2-hour supercut of Trapped in the Closet on YouTube now? Dude, no fucking way.
Dude, if you stream a watch along, I will fucking come.
Yeah, I'll come watch it. Tony, you should rephrase that.
I will be there to watch it along with you.
Oh my god, 33 chapters. Brightside like that one. Dude, he's dying right now. Oh my god. I don't know how we got over onto this topic, but this is pretty fucking fun. I'm enjoying it. God, that's crazy, dude. What was it? So Rob Lowe had a fucking thing clipped and shipped. Let's go, LFQ. Yeah, LFQ, aren't you in charge of this circus, bro? What do you mean? How did you get us here? What did you do? What's up, Landair? Yo, we're talking about Kevin Spacey and R. Kelly and fucking all kinds of nonsense today. We were on the Francos. We got here from talking about Halle Berry being a bad actress, and then like Common is also a bad actor. And it's just because they play the same roles, but they keep getting work and they're very popular. And I was like, I don't know how that happens. And then we talked about some good actors and actresses and like, yeah, how much we like them. What about Jason Jones? Like the Bungie guy? Film producer? All right, there you go, Lander. It's pretty funny that Common is just the male version of Halle Berry. I can't unsee that. Yeah, that was so Lander, to catch you up, that was Brightside's revelation was Common is just male Halle Berry, which we were all like, holy shit, dude, he's so fucking real for that. Yeah, we're talking about film, not games right now. We did talk about some game stuff. There's probably, I think we had something about, yeah, there's Xbox Game Pass stuff that we could talk about, which I think is interesting. Not to like hard pivot because I'm enjoying this conversation, but it's kind of fizzling out a little. So if you guys are unfamiliar, Asha dropped the price of Xbox Game Pass by $5. Thereabouts. I don't know, some kind of money. It went down to $23. And they're also going to no longer have COD games available on Game Pass at launch. So this is like a pricing experiment, I think. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. We can talk about Common and Silo. He's way too serious for that show. Yeah, I thought his role was very dissonant. It was really weird. Got a playable build ready? Yeah, send it over whenever, Queen Anne. Yeah, okay, so I'm torn on Silo. Like there's things I like about Silo, but there's things that I really don't like about Silo. It's I feel like it's there's too much like building up anticipation for something that's going to happen, and then it's like a weird left field jog off into something that doesn't really matter, and they come back to the main point, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
The first season, which is probably equivalent to like the first book, I'm going to try not to speak about spoilers or anything, but like it's really interesting how it fucks with you and makes you think one thing and then like makes you think a different thing, and like you're constantly like kind of second guessing things. Like that was really cool, but like by the second season, like I don't know, I think to your point, like they're just like doing a little too much and like trying to milk it a little too hard, and I don't know, the subplot with the very childish guy like really did not enjoy, and I don't know. Yeah,
kind of a hot take. You guys, feel free to disagree. I kind of see Silo going in the direction of like Lost. They have some good premises, and then they just do wacky shit. And I'm like, what? Like, why are we doing this? And then they like try to tie it in later to make sense in the plot. And for what it's worth, that show Lost, They didn't have a plan, and that's why it was so disjointed and wacky. They were like writing every episode just on the fly, and that was why Lost is what it is. Brightside said I hated that solo guy. Which solo guy? Are you just talking about
the guy in season 2 who is very childish of Silo?
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm trying not to. There's like a big spoilery fact about him. I think we're all trying not to say, but yeah, pretty central character in the second season.
Yeah, we should not say it. I have seen it, but I just don't remember it. I think that's the point that I'm trying to make is like Silo didn't stick in my head. I really liked Rebecca Ferguson in the first season. Great. Fucking fantastic. I liked it a lot. But I don't know. Shows ruined by themselves. Lost, Westworld, and Silo. Yeah, I mean you're kind of spitting there, Lander.
I feel like you can go through so many, the ones we talked about recently, True Blood, Dexter.
Yes.
Like and any of the classics, like they're just like wear out their welcome and get really bad by the end.
That's why I appreciate, okay, so weird take. That's why I appreciate shit like Avatar Last Airbender. They had a plan to end that show from the beginning of it. They knew what they were doing, and it's a very cohesive narrative, and it makes sense. I know I'm going to get some of you guys with that, some of you younger guys with the Avatar Last Airbender reference, but I'm not an Airbender head, you know. I'm not like super fucking into it, but it's good. I have to admit it's good. And 4 seasons of it is perfect, and it resolved itself really, really well. Very, very competently written show. Yes, exactly, Adder. I appreciate when a show has an end date from the get-go. That's why I was saying like Rick and Morty's fucking cooked. As soon as they signed that deal for 7 more seasons, Rick and Morty was fucking toast.
As soon as Rick is like 75 more seasons of Rick and Morty, 1,000 episodes, like what is that, end of season 2 or something like that?
Yep. That was them being like, it's over, we cashed out. And I'm like, yep. Now it's a 150 person writer's room making every episode, and that sucks. The vision's gone.
Schitt's Creek is interesting, Adder, because there is the end of, I want to say it's 6 seasons, and the end of season 4 was supposed to be the original end, and it is very much structured like the end of a TV show. And then it just like keeps going beyond that. But there's this like scene where they're like all standing in the road, like hugging each other and kind of like saying goodbye, and it seems like everybody's gonna like leave and go their separate ways. And there's like 2 more seasons of the show after that because it was doing so well that I think they got more funding, and then they like kind of ended up giving it probably a better ending, to your point. But it was interesting how you can kind of tell that that was the case at the time.
Oh, Brightside got some misogyny out of left field? Or are you talking about Schitt's Creek? They try to make tough women by just making them scowl and walk around responding to all men with bitchy quips. There's a complaint about toxic masculinity, but they just gender swap, and I'm supposed to like the characters.
You might be talking about Silo, but I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. Is that? Yes, Silo. Yes. No, you are 100% right on that, and I totally agree. Yes. Yup.
Yeah.
I very much dislike that character, too. Like, just blanket, like, gender hatred, I think, is very juvenile. Doesn't matter which direction it goes in. It's just stupid, you know. It's like, what are we all 8 years old on the playground going like, you know, boys rule, girls drool type shit? Like, what the fuck is this? Have a little more respect for the audience. When her and the guy she's beefing with end up falling in love out of nowhere, yes, dude, so real, so fucking real. Turning Cox says all the tough women I know are far more cheerful, but dangerous in ways that you can't quite put your finger on. Yes. But I mean, okay, so guys, like a tough or a strong woman doesn't have to be dangerous. Like just assertive and like confident. And I think that's like the true, you know, strength. I mean, granted, I am a man talking about what makes a woman strong. So obviously like out of my fucking element here, but for me, that's the thing where I'm like, that's a strong woman, you know, like she's doing her own thing. And I guess I say that because like my whole life I've been like surrounded by strong women. Like I'm one of the only men in my family on my mom's side. So yeah. And like you know, my aunt is like a very prominent lawyer. My mom was successful in business. My wife is like always been, you know, like the breadwinner in the household and very successful and has her life together and shit like that. So like, I don't know. I think it's cool. But at the same time, I'm not like, oh, take care of me. I'll be, you know, house husband or whatever the fuck. I'm not trying to do that either. Like trying to be a strong man on my own and support like strong women in the way that I can because, you know, it's reciprocity. I feel the same way about men too. That's why I can't stand things like Landman, someone who has a smart response. Okay, so Brightside, you're not wrong with that. You're definitely not wrong with that. It is a little cringe. Like Billy Bob always has this moment where he's walking away from the camera. All right, so this is probably exactly what you're talking about. He's walking away from the camera and he stops and scuffs his boot on the ground and turns around over his shoulder and he's like, "That's why I told you to do the thing." And then like turns around and walks away out of frame and everyone's like, "Oh, he's crazy. We got to listen to Tommy." But yeah, I know what you mean. That's why I was saying it's, you know, oh, so Queen Anne, I don't know if you're familiar with Taylor Sheridan, but and Lander, you can say that too. Or like chime in. But Taylor Sheridan did Yellowstone and Landman and Mayor of Kingstown and a bunch of stuff. I like his work. I think it's really good. But I was saying Taylor Sheridan he makes the dude version of Bridgerton. So whereas like Bridgerton is for women, Taylor Sheridan makes Bridgerton type shit for dudes. And I think that's very fair. And I say this as a fan of Taylor Sheridan's work. Let's see. Video game writers and show writers are the same these days. Absolutely. Yeah, there you go, Lander. I don't want to say that out loud in case someone clips me. It does change in the context of the show and media. Yes, absolutely. The problem is that a writer can only write a character as smart as them, and all these writers think they're way more witty. So Brightside, it's even worse than that. When you have something that has a lot of money behind it and backing it up, like a show or a movie, there's not one writer. There's literally like 50 to 150, and they're all trying to write different pieces and coordinate with each other. Everyone's shoehorning something in, and then they have oversight that's telling them what they can and can't write. So it turns into this mud, this like garbage. You know, some executive hasn't been in the writer's room, doesn't know what the vision is, did a focus group, comes in, fucks their whole plan up and says, you have to do this, 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 and this. It's the same shit Adder talks about from working in AAA. That shit happens in games too. Sure, it happens in movies without like a really strong director who's trusted to just do whatever the fuck they want, follow their vision. Yeah. If there's combat, then a strong woman might have to have combat skills. Okay, so if we want to talk about that, I think Milja Jovovich was the best female action star that played a strong female that was great. You know, obviously there are some roles where it's a little wacky and she's like way too strong, but it's always couched in like, you know, when she was Lilu, Lilu was like a supreme being, like the force of good, super strong and all this shit, and she still had faults and was fallible. In the case of Alice from Resident Evil, she was genetically modified. She was like Nemesis, but didn't have all the mutations that were outwardly visible. So like, I think Milja Jovovich is fucking fantastic, like strong female action star. I think she does a really good job of that shit. Yeah, a line of dialogue that has to be approved by 30 people. Exactly. And none of those 30 people are actually the writers in the room writing the fucking thing. That's not how I meant dangerous. Well, yeah, feel free to you know, correct me and elaborate, Turning Cog. I wasn't trying to push back on you directly. It was just more the notion, right? Like I wasn't saying like Turning Cog, you said something stupid. That's not what I was saying at all. I actually never thought about how the law of averages just turns everything into mundane shit. Milja Jovovich's open source fiasco?
Yeah, remember I was telling you she started an AI company?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude.
Bunch of AI researchers being like, Mila Jovovich helped us build this crazy AI memory system. And I'm not trying to discredit her. Like, I hope she did, but it really kind of struck me as just like them using her celebrity for advertising and endorsement. But I don't know.
Admittedly, Brightside, I don't think that was necessarily Turning Cog's fault. the best part of that whole situation as a viewer was that he's like, don't take the fucking gas out of my van. And you're like, oh yeah, I'd never do that as the progress bar is going up from you siphoning gas into a bowl. That shit was so fucking funny, man. It's so fucking funny. Yeah. So this is why you guys are calling it law of averages. I don't think you're wrong on that. In making video games, especially at a bigger company, the turn of phrase in the design world is design by committee. And when you do that without a strong vision holder, you make trash. You just always do. And then it's just not fucking good. When there's too many cooks in the kitchen, there's no unified vision holder. You do need one person to make the call. The problem is if they make bad calls, they're going to fuck all your shit up. Yeah, no worries, Queen Anne. Take it easy. Thanks for coming through. If they make bad calls, it fucks everyone else up. But that's the way it should be. You can't have other people get in the way and stop the vision because they're afraid and don't trust the vision holder. Like, you just got to let that person do their job. Just let them do their job. If they fuck it up, it's on them. You know, it's the way it goes. Okay. So Xbox Game Pass, let's talk about that real quick if we can, or I guess more. So getting price changes, Call of Duty won't be included in Game Pass anymore. So my thought is this. They had to raise the price of Game Pass to include Call of Duty because of whatever deal they had. And I think that dropping it allowed them to reduce the price, but probably to have a bigger margin on the profit they would get from Game Pass. So that's my assumption of what's happening. I'll be really... Go ahead.
I was going to say the analysis I saw is that Call of Duty gamers only play Call of Duty, and so if they don't give it to them on Game Pass, they will still buy it. And they think that that's kind of like what the math boils down to.
Turning Cog, they're going to buy Mortal Shell 2. That's why. Or that's how. Because Mortal Shell 2 is, I mean, I would be shocked if it didn't do well. I think that would be a tragedy and like completely out of your guys' control. Because like it looks good, man. The conversations around it are really, really positive. So yeah, it's gonna be cool to see. I think at the very least, if the game is bad, the hype that you guys are riding right now, if you keep doing what you're doing, it's going to sell units at launch. And obviously, like, that's just the way it's going to go. I don't think you guys are going to get hit by lots of people bought the game and like it wasn't what they thought it was and like this is bad, so now sales are getting hurt. I don't think that can happen with Mortal Shell, especially because you guys are releasing on a bunch of stuff. Actually, I don't even know. You guys PC only? I don't even know if you can talk about it. I don't know if you're PC only or if you're releasing on consoles and shit too.
I think he was talking to us about Sony the other day, but I don't want to speak out of turn, so I'd never said that.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's releasing on. So, but the reason I'm saying that is because you can't really do console refunds. You like kind of can, but if you buy a physical copy, like that's yours. You know, you're gonna lose money
taking that shit back.
Yeah, it's already sold. So the point that I'm trying to make is that I think Mortal Shell 2, based on trends and shit and reactions to it, I think it's going to be successful at launch, and that would be great to see. Even if it's a bad game, I think it'll be successful at launch. I don't think it's going to be a bad game. I think it's going to be fine. Everything that Adder's told us about how the single player experiences and shit like that or whatever, it's all like positive gut checks for me as a designer. Only games I've ever refunded are BF 2042 and BF 6. That's crazy, Lander. I've seen like 1 or 2 games get console refunds. So some games that I've refunded are like indie games that I've checked out because I was curious about them, and then I was like, this is not what the marketing materials say it is, and then I just get rid of them.
I think they refunded Cyberpunk for console players, right?
Yes, they gave people money back because it was broken. I refunded Diablo 4. Nice, LFQ. I think that's a good call. I put too much time into it, so it's a wash. But I still put like 60 hours into it or something. So I got my money's worth.
Might be the most expensive game I've ever bought that I hated and never played and didn't get a refund on.
That's why I was saying that's crazy, Lander. I liked 2042 and 6, but I don't know. Maybe it's probably just because I like shooters and it was something different, you know? I really like them.
Yeah, I understand 2042. It seems like 6 would be better, but you know,
6 is
I know how
definitely better.
Battlefield people are, and if it's not old Battlefield, then they don't like it. So
Yeah, if it's not 3, then yeah. So what did you hate about those BFs, Lander? Oh, here we go. Hold on. Allow. You grew up playing them from 1942 to BF4. Yes, so did I. I played 1942 and Vietnam the most, I think. I love Cyberpunk, but I bought it on GOG figuring it had the best shot. I mean, I don't think it's any secret. Cyberpunk shipped with game-breaking bugs. It really did. Like, on my first playthrough, I did a quest that, like, I was just doing, like, all the side quests, and I did a quest that soft-locked my whole fucking game, and I had to revert to a save that was, like, 2 hours earlier and just not do the quest.
Oh,
I tried
check it.
What are we checking?
oh, I'm sorry. I got game trailers to show up in the fucking corner.
Oh, there we go. Nice, dude.
I've
Speaking
been trying
of
to like
Marathon,
get the news up there so that we can keep this up while we're talking about things.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you got Marathon up there, so we can talk about that a little bit. Marathon has been kind of holding steady at like 20K concurrent players on Steam, which is, it's not dead, but that's not good. For the assumptions people have made about development costs of this game, they didn't make enough money. I don't know. Just off of raw sales, that's not good. And the thing that I don't like about what Marathon's doing right now is they keep pushing balance patches. They keep fucking with the game and the way it plays. And I'm like, that's not going to bring players in. It's just going to be so weird. There was a tweet. Okay, here we go. So since I'm talking about Marathon, I want to throw this out there about Joe Ziegler. He tweeted, quote, matchmaking is a complex series of wires and circuits trying to connect players to give them the best time to match while also providing quality matches. In that complex nest of things, we found a bug related to regional matchmaking, blah, blah, blah. Joe Ziegler literally said, the internet is a complex series of tubes. Like, who the fuck let him tweet that? That's crazy. I just can't believe he did that. So anyway, they had a matchmaking problem that was causing higher skill players, because they apparently had to, have skill-based matchmaking. Higher skilled players were being matched in like remote regions because they didn't have enough higher skilled players to play against. So they were kind of like getting stuck in the turbo sweats, and then they got stuck in like, I can't even play this game because the latency is so bad. And they admitted, oh, this was a matchmaking bug. But this was the official tweet from Joe Ziegler. Matchmaking is a complex series of wires and circuits trying to connect players. Like, come on, man. Don't say that. Tony's got game trailers. This can't be good. Man's going to show us Hello Kitty Island Adventure or some shit. He's a known troll and a bright side sympathizer. That's crazy. Turning Cog is just trying to sow some discord here. Lander says Ark's first balance patch was 2 months in. Yeah. So Marathon's first balance patch was 2 weeks in. Why are they fucking doing that? It's like they learned nothing. I just do not understand it. BF 2042 is just tower sniping, fast movement. BF 6 had wacky TTK and damage at range. Felt like I'd dump a mag into someone, they'd turn around and one tap me. Small maps too. Yeah, I think those are fair criticisms, but I still liked 6 and 2042. Which is not to say your opinion's wrong. I was curious. I just want to know what you thought. Hello Kitty Island Adventure? Did you actually put that up there, Tony?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. There we go. Yeah, you get them, LFQ. What are you saying about my beloved Hello Kitty Island Adventure?
This game is kind of popping off right now, isn't
it? Hello Kitty Island Adventure?
I think it is. Yeah, totally.
I mean, what the fuck is this even?
I think it's like Animal Crossing Hello Kitty. Yeah, I don't know. It's got very positive 5,800 reviews.
All right.
Yeah. Won a bunch of awards, it looks like. When did it come out? January 30th, 2025. I've been hearing people talking about it recently for whatever reason.
Lander says, dude, you know what's crazy? Games like this attract women who are otherwise super casual gamers to be more serious. So like it converts them into being like hardcore gamers. Is that what you're saying? Your ex loved that Disney game? Which Disney one?
Probably Disney something Valley.
Oh yeah, with all like the
Yeah.
Disney princesses, and it's
Yeah.
like converts them into spending more time gaming. Yeah, I mean that's really true. Yeah, it does.
Animal Crossing absolutely made my wife kind of open-minded to gaming when she wasn't before. So you're totally right. Dreamlight Valley, thank you.
Oh, Turning Cog is talking shit about Hello Kitty Island Adventure, but he knows it's called Dreamlight Valley. That's sussy, brother. I've
I
noticed
don't
a lot
know
more
what to
women
say
play
about
Project
that
Zomboid
bright
too.
side. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're kind of right on that.
That is true. Like I can think
Yeah.
of like a few like random content creators I know of that like aren't in our circle that are female Zomboid streamers. So yeah.
I wonder what the mechanisms there are. Is it like planning and like careful thought about organization and shit in a game is like more attractive to a female audience, whereas like dudes just want to be like smooth brain kill shit explosions? Because like that's kind of how I feel. Like as a gamer, I'm definitely like drawn to just smooth brain shoot stuff, be action man. I leverage survival crafters to get my partner more serious about games. Yeah. Bright side. I tap into my divine feminine during Project Zomboid. Lander says, I think it's the clunky mechanics. Yo. Oh, okay. So you're saying because you don't have to react quickly, it like, yeah, so you don't have to have like a higher level of dexterity or like, yeah, I don't know. We're all speculating. I'm really not trying to piss off any women, so like I don't want to get too much into it. Bunch of dudes talking about why women play certain games is what are we gonna do? The girl I'm currently dating plays a lot of RDR too. That's cool. I mean, I guess I kind of don't play like Rockstar games for the same reason why I don't really like playing Animal Crossing or like Hello Kitty Island Adventure or like Pokopia and shit. I get really fucking bored. And I always want to like fight stuff. So anytime I play survival crafters, I'm a lot like Brightside, where like I want to go get guns and like shoot the things, and it's like, well, you should spend more time on survival and base building and stuff like that. Like even playing Terraria, I just go fight everything and like unlock new areas and stuff like that, get new materials. But I don't do base building. It's very rudimentary and like no care given to aesthetics. It might be because the inventory management is closer to mobile game mechanics. A lot of those are inventory heavy. I mean, I don't know that that's the case because like my wife is I would say a very hardcore gamer, but she plays a lot of these cozy games that we're talking about, but she also plays Tarkov. Like she's lately been playing Escape from Duckov because she's been enjoying that a lot. And like that's an action game,
What was the meme she posted? It was like girlhood as a spectrum, and it was Animal
Yeah.
Crossing on one side and Tarkov on the other side.
Yes, exactly. Wait, you're not showing your femininity all the time? I don't think he is, but yeah, he definitely he leans into his divine feminine. Brightside's a well-balanced human being. I mean, granted, I'm saying that like parasocially. I don't actually know Brightside. I know he was crazy on the Razor scooter back in the day.
Yeah, man.
Turning Cog, your partner mains mobile games? I've played some mobile games. I think the one I played the most was like phone League of Legends. That's probably what I put the most time into as a mobile game. I played some Auto Battler, Summoners, some shit. I did that when I was working on mobile games, just because like I knew we were gonna have like similar mechanics to player progression and systems. So I played a lot of that. I don't know. Auto battlers are pretty fucking flat too. And while I do love a good JRPG, I don't know. I think I kind of get bored at the grind now. Yeah, I really don't like auto battlers. I think they're weird. I want more choice to press buttons with good timing. You would hate playing Minecraft with my brother. Dude is going from the Stone Age to building nukes. I mean, like, I don't like Minecraft. I know that's a crazy thing to say. I'm just too old. It like never hit for me. Like when Minecraft was out, I was playing WoW and Halo. You know, like that was it. I was playing Ninja Gaiden and Devil May Cry and shit like that. Very, very action heavy games. Most of my time as a gamer was spent playing very action heavy games. And then as I started making games, that's when I like branched out and started playing a bunch of different kinds of shit. Well, I should say I did play a lot of strategy games. One of the first games I played was Civ 1, you know, Sid Meier's Civilization. I wasn't good at it, but I liked it. I think it was where I modded stuff first was in like Civ 2, because they had like a UGC suite where you could like edit sprites and shit and make custom units and all kinds of stuff like that and like build campaigns. What's up, Gil? How you doing? I like survival crafters with Minecraft miss me. Yeah, I think the best way to think about Minecraft is the way people say Minecraft is like the new Lego. I think that's really accurate. When I was a kid, I played with Lego. So like Lego was my Minecraft. LFQ says I played a bunch of Minecraft, can't play it vanilla anymore. Got to have mods for more to do if I have to play. I mean, I don't know, bro. Lego Fortnite is the new Lego. I mean, not really, because everything's like templates, you know. But I know. I saw the Kappa. You were being sarcastic. Also, didn't they fucking killed Lego Fortnite? Didn't they? Because they killed like the whole fucking studio that was doing all that shit. You're muted, Tony.
Sorry, I don't remember them talking about Lego.
But we were talking about it. I think going through the list of all the teams that got shuttered, and the Lego Fortnite team was one of those. I think it's still up. They're just not building anything new for it, and they've like set it down.
Well, because I know some of the modes, like the racing one, is like gone. They deleted it. They took it out of there. So
that was probably just unfinished, and they were like, "We're not finishing this, and we're shutting it off." Lander says, "Yeah, but I have to talk positively about it for JL. Is JL a big Minecraft guy?" What's Lego Loco? Who said Lego had games? Wait, who fucking said that? Did chat or did Twitch eat a message? Lego had games that were pretty good on Win 9598. Interesting. Oh, no, I found it. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, the Lego.
Oh, JL worked on Lego. Oh, dude, fucking is JL okay? Because like Epic just fucking canned like 1,000 people. I mean, I say just, but this is like 2 weeks ago. I hope he's okay, man. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad. Okay, and he's still working there. All right, good. All right, good job, JL. Ducking the fucking axe, man. Only played Star Wars Lego on PC. I didn't play any of the Lego games. Well, I should say my wife got Lego Harry Potter, and there was like a weird like mixed co-op thing you could do where you could like control an animal familiar. And I just basically ran around with the pigeon and just squawked and like jumped into places and like kind of got in the way. And she made me fucking stop playing because I was being annoying. But that was a good time for me. I was just running around being like, whap, 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 and like jumping in her way and shit. Holy fuck, Lander. I hope you don't make the list, bro. Oh, the list of people to keep or the people to go? Lego Loco was a city builder game where stuff would change a bit depending on the surrounding buildings. I remember that now very vaguely, but I didn't play it. The Incredible Machine, way more. Yeah, I played a lot of Tim like that. That was the game that when I was in like computer class in high school, we loaded onto the machines and we would play that instead of doing learning to program a clock in Pascal or
Like
whatever.
a knockoff of Bad Rats, right?
The other way, but yes.
I'm just kidding.
But yes, Bad Rats is a knockoff of Incredible Machine. But yeah, very similar kind of game. But Incredible Machine was fucking great. You want to go 6 months of pay stock vested? Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I hope you get the desired outcome. If that's the axe and a good severance package, I hope you get that, bro. Football is a knockoff to FIFA. Yeah, Tony was baiting me with that, Gil.
Yeah. We were just talking about Bad Rats like 2 days ago. That's why I said it.
I was telling him about Bad Rats. LFQ says, I have to exercise my public responsibility to remind you all that Lego is Danish. Yes, it is. The greatest thing to come out of Denmark, other than LFQ, Lego.
I don't know, man. Cheese Danishes are pretty good.
I don't think a cheese Danish is even a Danish or is even from Denmark, right?
Kind of fucked up.
Like, aren't the pastries in Denmark like different? Do you know what we call a Danish as like a pastry, LFQ? Are you familiar with the American Danish? I think you guys just call them like a donut. I've been to Legoland. It was amazing. I kind of have always wanted to go to Legoland, but I don't have kids. That would be fucking weird, so I'm not going to go to Legoland. I mean, I guess I probably would have liked it if I was like 13. That would have been cool as fuck. Oh, okay. Yeah, you call it wiener bread. All right. Nice, dude. That's how I pronounce that with my American accent. Wiener bread.
Wiener bread.
Gil, that's why I do what I do for a living, bro. Instead of acting like a baby in public and kicking and screaming when I don't get my way and requesting to speak to the manager, I play video games and I read books and like I make video games for a living, I thought you were a real Toys R Us kid. I mean, I'm not a kid. I don't think I can qualify as a kid at 42, but I definitely like loved going to Toys R Us. I was the kind of kid that I would be like, let's go to Toys R Us. Like, we go out and get groceries and be like, can we go to the toy store? Please, please, please.
Fucked up that kids these days do not get to go to Toys R Us because as a kid, there is nothing better. There's a fucking warehouse of toys.
Just window shopping them and being like, oh,
it's like you'd see shit there you've never seen before in your entire life because the internet didn't exist and they had that Nickelodeon like game show thing where you got to just like take a shopping cart and just run through fucking Toys R Us and grab as many things as you can. Like that was the dream as a kid.
Did you ever apply to be on that show?
Oh yeah.
I did too. I submitted a handwritten letter and all that shit. They sent me back a little thing to say like, thank you for your interest. Never heard another fucking word. Yep. They were just like, thank you for being a dedicated viewer. We love you.
We used to have the Jolly Rancher factory in Arvada, Colorado, which is where I grew up. And that was cool. It smelled really good around there.
Supermarket Sweep knockoff show? I mean, dude, it was...
Yeah, but it was kids at Toys R Us. Like, it was so sick.
Kids aren't going to watch Supermarket Sweep. They're going to go watch the thing on Nickelodeon, bro. God, kids don't even have fucking Nickelodeon nowadays. It's so gross.
I always see people posting like Legends of the Hidden Temple and stuff. Like, man, we had some good shit back in the day.
Yeah, man. You can't do that on television. Double Dare, Mark Summers. I feel like I feel like Brightside was on Double Dare or like should have gone on Double Dare. Young Brightside on Double Dare would have gone so fucking hard.
Guts was like Ninja Warrior for kids.
Yep.
Sick.
LFQ says there was a larger furniture store close to my parents, and I loved going with them because there was an NES in the store for kids to play with. Yeah, dude. That was the best shit. Kids these days don't even have an aggro crag. Yeah, that's real. I saw the new Masters of the Universe and Voltron. That was when I gave up on Nickelodeon. Yeah. Yeah, man. Cartoons aren't what they used to be, man. They used to just be cool shit, and now they're like pushing, political messages and
Did you see
encouraging kids to be activists. It's crazy.
they remade the Powerpuff Girls? Have you seen that?
What the fuck? No.
It looks so fucking weird. Like the eyes are wrong. Like,
Or you talk about the live action shit?
no. Like, I think they're redoing the cartoon and they like redrew everything, and it just like, I don't know. It's kind of like what they did to Teen Titans. And
Oh no.
yeah, not good, not good.
Teen Titans used to be cool. Like the first
OG
run of it
Teen Titans was
great.
so good. Yep. And I when the new one came out, I was like, I'll give it a chance. And no.
It looks like AI is saying 2016. They had a live action planned series in 2020, but
maybe I'm thinking
bad.
of something that isn't Powerpuff Girls. But I saw they redrew something the other day, and it like does not look right.
Yeah, that's from 2016, and there was a huge backlash, and people were upset. I mean, that was Gendy Tartakovsky animating it, man.
That's why
it
is so classic. Yeah.
Yep. Gendy criminally underrated. Very weird visual style, but fantastic animator and storyteller. Not even the politics of them with you about the activism. The 3D lost the charm of the OG 2D. Levels of detail is down. Yeah, so for me, I always think about this, Gil. I remember when I was like 10 years old, one of my friends from school told me about this show called SWAT Cats, and it was like towards the end of Hanna-Barbera, but it was a serious action cartoon, and it starred two cats that ran a wrecking service in a junkyard, but they were like mechanical wizards, and this like giant monster attacked their cat town, and they fucking got in like an F-14 Tomcat. Everything was very cat themed, but the Tomcat was like a Macross like robot, and it could like transform into like a fucking like dude with arms and shit. It was so fucking sick. And it could also like turn into a car. They were trying to like market toys and shit around it, but man, it was so good. Okay, so Gil, I have to say, like, I can't stand the Flintstones. I can't stand Scooby-Doo. Turning Cog, you know SWAT Cats? You're like literally the only other person who knows SWAT Cats that I've talked to. Transformers G1 before the movie, I still watch it on repeat. Yeah, like the 80s cartoon, very good. I grew up with that shit. It was great. Gil, you saw SWAT Cats? Yeah, dude. SWAT Cats was so fucking good, man. Scooby-Doo was too woke for Lander in the fucking 70s, bro. So disgusting. Yeah. The thing that I didn't like about Scooby-Doo was how fucking bad it was written. Scooby-Doo was always like, we got a celebrity to come on the show, and they have like 3 fucking lines of voice acting, and it was like the dumbest shit ever. I thought it was just so disrespectful to the audience. Zoinks! Biker Mice from Mars, Cowboys of Moon Mesa, Turning Cog. Do you remember Dino Saucers? I tried to get Brightside to do a beat off around the Dino Saucers theme song, and he didn't do it. Made me sad, but it was it's fucking good. I'm gonna send you a link, Turning Cog, for the theme song here. All right, here we go.
The Velma show definitely did not take off. People did not like that. It was the same as the Powerpuff Girls, like what they tried to do with that.
For which show?
They made a show called Velma that was supposed to be kind of like a serious adult modern take on Scooby-Doo, and it definitely did not go.
Written by Mindy Kaling, very written and starring and produced by Mindy Kaling, and it was turbo woke.
And it did not. Really I don't know weird. If it even made it through one season before they turned it off, but
it was very misandrist. I remember that.
It sucks because like Scooby-Doo does have like this golden era in the middle where they made like Zombie Island and the live action movies and stuff, where I think it was like pretty solid. But I think everything you're saying about it, like before and after that, is totally valid too.
I've never liked Scooby-Doo, and I watched a ton of it because I like cartoons when I was a kid, and I was like, this fucking show sucks, man.
I just always thought the plot was like, it was never written like cleverly enough that like if you paid attention you could figure out like who it was or something. It was always just going to be like some random person from the plot, and they were going to reveal it at the end, and like there was no more to it than that. I was like, I don't know, this could be deeper, guys.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on this. The reimagining of older IPs with like all the shoehorned in fucking activism and politics and like culture war bullshit is crazy. Like, it's for kids. Like, what are we even fucking doing? We should let kids think about like. So the biggest thread that I can think of is cartoons that I watched when I was a kid were all about doing the right thing and standing up for people and not leading with violence, but like taking the higher ground, protecting the weak and shit like that. And I fucking loved all of that. It helped shape me as a person to like do the right thing and tell the truth and have like a sense of dignity and honor. And no kids shows are like that anymore. They're very much about making you feel bad about who you are and like deferring your own sense of like accomplishment and pride to someone else, and like anything that is bad that happens to you isn't your fault. And it's really fucking weird. Yeah, Captain Planet used to do that too, even though you could say Captain Planet is like woke, right? Because it was all about environmental stuff. It was always about doing the fucking right thing and not being a piece of shit. Like I think that's the thing that is different for me now. Yeah, exactly what you guys are saying about Velma, I think is accurate. And it was really, really weird. Very, very forced, ham-fisted, like culture war, identity politics stuff, which is crazy. I don't know why this is in kids' shows. Bright side, can you believe they wrote me as gay for this season of the Beat Off? I can believe it. You're the lead writer on that project, bro. Live your truth, man. Even Silverhawks had lessons at each end of the chapter. Yeah, exactly, Gil. You know what I'm talking about. It was about like teaching kids to just like, you know, reject being a sentient ape and like try to be better than that. Be like a good person, you know? That's funny as a Vine length video. What I just said, live your truth. I mean, you know, do what you want, man. Nobody ever clips anything anymore. So I grew up with the same materials as you. Yeah, we're around the same age, right, Gil? But you're the writer? Yeah, yeah, there you go, dude. Yeah, that is a good bit, Brightside. I liked it. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. What's the lesson we shall learn? Is that from Eureka's Castle? What was that from, Turning Cog? Animaniacs. Thank you. Thank you. I can't believe I fucked that up. Someone's gonna take my millennial card away. I'm a sleeper hate watcher. I'll clip eventually. All right, Lander, there's plenty for you to clip to like emphasize me being a shitter. Record a short and get it up on YouTube. Oh man.
You should have your wife be the other person in the video. Who goes, wait, aren't you the writer?
The Eureka's Castle was lit. It was I think Eureka's Castle was like the beginning of like woke kids stuff, to be honest, because I watched some older clips of it and I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was going in my brain. Not that it's bad to be like considerate of human beings like that. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. But like pushing people into like activism and shit is crazy. Married with Children. I fucking love Married with Children, man. So at the same time I'd be watching Eureka's Castle, I was also watching Married with Children because I had a TV in my room and I got like I didn't have cable. I had the antenna so I could like pick up like USA and UPN and Fox, and that was it. And I would watch those channels. I don't know if you guys ever got UPN. That might have been like
I had UPN.
That wasn't like a Southern thing. Did you have it in Oklahoma?
No, I remember having a TV growing up that like didn't have cable, but was like on the local channels, and like that being one of them. Yeah.
Lander, Married with Children, woke. Imagine forcing pro-family propaganda, yo. Oh shit! Have you ever actually seen Married with Children, Lander? But also at the same time, that's where I grew an affinity and a fondness for Martin. Martin is such a fucking good show. But yeah, I watched Martin and like Living Single and you know all the stuff that was on UPN. Obviously, there's a very specific audience on that channel, but I loved it.
All right, well, 12:15. Let's wrap it up before you guys get on a spicier topic, probably.
Martin is so fucking good, man. Damn, Gina. Yeah, Lander, I probably shouldn't have been watching Married with Children. I was a little young for it. A lot of the stuff went over my head, but I rewatched it again recently. It's so fucking good. The Weigh-In show, no, it was Martin Lawrence. It was like what got him to like blow up was Martin. In Living Color. Yeah, that was the Weigh-In show. That shit was so good, dude. Yeah, actually, that's an interesting point, Brightside. So yeah, I know we want to wrap up here, but Gil, you watched like American television growing up? Because aren't you like from Israel? Like born and raised type shit?
We've been pretty close with Israel for a very long time.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think it's really interesting that like they would have American television. You know, I guess everywhere has American television.
Most other, a lot of the world doesn't really have any level of cultural output like we do. So
yeah,
it just kind of ends up that like, there's not a lot of TV shows being made in the Middle East and stuff. So they just import a lot of American stuff.
That's cool, man. I'm glad you got to get a taste of the old US&A, man. You didn't get it in Israel. You watched it on the Lebanese channel.
It's a little weird that it's in Lebanon, but not in Israel. But
that's so
there
fun.
You go.
Well, okay, so it's not that weird because before certain historical events, Beirut and like Lebanon was very close with the West. Like people used to go vacation there a lot. It was like the Monte Carlo of the Middle East, you know.
They make that joke like in Euro Trip about how like Eastern Europe is just getting like Miami Vice or something like that because like that's what the timeline's like. They like get all of our stuff way after the fact. So yeah, I don't know.
My Wife and Kids was the show. That's what you watched instead of Married with Children. All right, that's fair. Married with Children, I think, is better. You should give it another shot, man. Ed O'Neill is fucking amazing. Christina Applegate is really good, but for what it's worth, like, it was a little problematic. Christina Applegate was like 14 and her role, she was supposed to be 18. And there was like a lot of hooting and hollering and she'd always come out in like very skimpy outfits and bounce around. And when you watch it with like that context, you're like, oh shit, she was like a kid. That's weird. Yes, 4 touchdowns in a single game. Polk high, brother. That's exactly correct. Okay. I think we're losing the plot here. I love chatting with you guys. Want to keep going, but we should wrap up. We got stuff to do today, so we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, LFQ, you should watch Married with Children in fucking Danish, dude. That'd be sick. There was no plot. There was plot. There were like narrative threads that continued through every episode of Married with Children. It was great. Oh, you were talking about the stream today. Losing the plot with the combo we had today. Yeah, I mean, I talked about game news and they got into like film and shit. All right, yeah, of course. Thank you, Brightside. Yeah, I think. Oh, I also just realized Brightside called Gil Gliz, which is great.
I did appreciate Gliz.
Yeah, Glizzy.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I appreciated it.
Glizzy Zussman, dude. Sorry, Gil. That's gonna be your nickname now. Raid or nah? What's your suggestion, Tony?
We got a Stevie.
Yeah, let's go hit up Stevie. All right, y'all. I'm gonna send you over to Stevie. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow as usual. Stevie Ray. There we go. All right, and go give Stevie some love. We love Stevie. She's great and she's making cool stuff. And also you will recognize people in her chat because they come to our chat too. So
because they're all you guys.
Yeah, it's all you guys. I bet half of you are already in Stevie's channel. Cool. We got about 5 seconds. Everyone have a good day. We will see you tomorrow. And
everybody.
Yeah, take it easy, y'all. And